What's up, guys? It's Mindful Monday, Memorial Day edition. I'm not live today because I'm going to make this one short and sweet because it's Memorial Day. We should be out playing with our family, enjoying this incredible weather. When I think about Memorial Day, we think about those men and women that gave their lives in the military to keep us safe, to give us this country to live in that we have. And so I'm out here at the cemetery visiting my mother and father's grave. And it makes you think, when you think about the sacrifices that these people made in their lives to keep us safe, it gives you gratitude. It gives you gratitude for the sacrifice that they made. And when we talk about mindfulness, a lot of what we do with mindfulness is trying to understand ways, trying to understand things that we can do that allow us to live better, that give us the ability to live our lives better. And part of gratitude is understanding all the good things that are in your life. There was this really interesting study done that they were trying to figure out ways that people could do simple little skills, simple little things throughout their day to make them happier, to give them more joy, to give them a better appreciation of life. And this one study that really stood out was a simple practice called 3 Good Things. And this has been studied in multiple clinical settings, multiple universities. One of the most interesting study was a study of physicians and nurses trying to understand ways that we could help decrease burnout in these demanding jobs. And so this study, this practice of 3 good things, was what they found to be the most effective of all treatments. And the idea behind it is that in our lives, we have things that happen to us that are negative. Our days are filled with negative incidents that happen. Interesting, they're filled with negative and positive incidents, but we have a tendency to harbor on the negative. And there's a reason for that. Self-preservation in our lives depends on understanding what happened to us, especially negatively, and trying to avoid it. For instance, if you ever, as a child, walked into the kitchen and the stove was turned on and you put your finger on the stove and burned your finger, that's a negative thing. You'll never forget that. You'll focus on that because you'll never touch the hot stove again. And that preserves you. But at the same time, negative things happen to us throughout the day that we harbor on, and it keeps us in a negative attitude, it keeps us in a negative emotion, and we're much more likely to remember the negative things and forget the positive things in our life. And that leads us down a pathway of anxiety, depression, stress, and when we're stressed, our cortisol levels go up, and it affects our blood pressure, it affects our heart rate, it affects so many physical symptoms that those feelings of negative emotions, when we harbor those, it affects us physically. There was a psychiatrist, Barbara Fredrickson. She said, the negative things scream at us and the positive things whisper silently. And that's the idea behind this, is that we always remember the negative. But if we could focus on the positive and really anchor into that, it would change the way we saw things and it would change the way we thought. So this practice of 3 good things, what they initially did in the study was they wanted people at the end of the day, every day, to write down 3 things that happened that day that were good. 3 good things. They may be simple. They may be something like, I had the best hamburger I've ever had today. Or it may be somebody was nice to me at work that's usually not. Or it may be something big, like my son graduated from college. But whatever it is, these are 3 things that happened that day. And you write them down at the end of the day. And so they had people practice this. In one of the studies, they had physicians and nurses practice it. In other studies, they had people that were in clinical settings practice it. And what they found, which is crazy to think of, that the people that wrote down the 3 good things, if they did it for 15 straight days, it had a stronger effect, a more positive effect on anxiety and on depression than medications like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, like the medicines that you take for depression. Had a stronger effect than tricyclic antidepressants. Just writing down 3 good things. And if you think about it, it's a whole lot cheaper and no side effects. Just writing down 3 good things, just focusing our mind on 3 positive things that happened that day and writing them down. Now, it's important that we do this at night, because when we do it at night before we go to bed, those things that we think of, that we focus on before we go to bed, are fresh on our mind as we sleep, and as we enter that REM stage of sleep, that really creates new connections in our brain. And what happens is our brain learns a way to think of things positively and not negatively. We retrain our thought process and retrain our brain. So I'm going to tell you how I do it. I do it a little bit differently, just a slight little twist to it. There's an app. There's actually a few different apps. You can just get on your phone, go to the App Store, and type in 3 good things. The one that I use is very, very simple. The little icon of it is just a white square with a blue smiley face on it. And it's real simple. Every day you tap on the app. It has 3 boxes. You type in 3 good things and you click the next day, and it shows you what your streak is and gives you a little bump of dopamine because you're on a streak. But here's what I do. During my day, when good things happen that give me that positive emotion, I write them down in a little journal, or I type them into a little diary app on my phone. And then at the end of the day, when I sit down with my 3 good things, I pick out 3 things that happened. I may have written down 10, but I picked 3 that really stick out. And I type that into my 3 good things app. And then in my journal that I wrote down, before I go to bed, I stop and I think, why did that happen? What brought it about? How did it happen? And what were my emotions about that thing? Because I want to keep fresh in my mind that good thing. Was it something that I did that brought it about? Was it a certain way I thought of things? Was it a perspective I had? Was it just random? What about those 3 good things can I pinpoint and say, this is why this happened, this is why I felt this way? And then put that into practice in my life so that that continues. See, it's a way of really thinking about it. It's a way of really understanding why you thought something was good. See, that's the key. If something gives you an emotion, it strikes you that this was a good thing, the question you have to ask yourself is, why did it strike me that way? Why did I see it as a good thing? And then you have to understand, this is something I want to reproduce. So every night, write down your 3 good things. Try it. It's so easy. Get on your app store right now. Right now. Perfect time. Right now. You got plenty of time. Go to your app store, type in 3 good things, and pick one of the apps. They're free. The one that I use is perfectly free. Like I said, the white box with a blue smiley face, and download it on your phone. And every night before you go to bed, type in 3 good things that happened. And think about those things, and think about why you thought it was good, why it happened, and how it affected you. Do it for 15 straight days. I do it every day. I've been doing it for over a year now. Do it for 15 straight days and see how it changes your mindset. See how it changes the way you think about things in life. That's what mindfulness is all about. And this is Memorial Day, and it's Mindful Monday. Go out, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, enjoy this incredible day, live life better. Now, coming up on Mindful Monday in the month of June, next week, June 5th, we got Tracy Fenton coming back to do some yoga. So June 5th, 12:15 to 12:45, come down to Muskogee Bone Joint and do yoga with us. That's June the 5th. On June the 12th, we've got Kent Camp from Fit Camp coming. He's going to come, he's going to do a workout with us with some exercise bands and train us with some techniques we can do every day. And then June the 19th, the following Monday, Tracy Fenton's back for some more yoga. And then the following Monday after that, which is June the 26th, I've got a friend of mine, Michaela Woodbridge, is coming. She's a athletic trainer. She's a fitness therapist, a fitness trainer, and she's going to come and run us through some exercises and teach us some things that she's been learning. She talked about possibly doing some stretching stuff. So that's for the next 4 weeks. We're going to be moving. We're going to be doing fitness. We're going to be stretching. We're going to be strengthening, and we're going to be doing yoga. So come join us. You can join us with Facebook Live, or you can come in person and be part of the action and connect with like-minded people. Be mindful. Moio everywhere we go. It's Mindful Monday.